team, which have matched their furthest ever performance at an international. Looking at it here, we start off on Split, and it is Navi's pick, a map which, from them, we have not seen in a little while. 1-1 last stage, and grouped up as 5 on this pistol outside of 8.
Taking our time to scale, obviously you can see Yetiji happy to probably give up this space given the opportunity, but a lot of damage, and this is just everybody descending on A.
Oh, Sop in the meantime catches one in transition, and Yetiji still alive here around the elbow, finally routed out, but it's at the cost of a kill. With that in mind, player advantage FUT.
Yeah, that's a huge kill to get. Keep the advantage in FUT's favour, and all 4 coming out of CT.
Looking to rally behind the dog of Crostali here. Smoke lobbed into the mix, and paint shells as well. At the feet of Rookslick, does well to dig one out, so does Exit, follows it up in fact. Gonna need to be 3 from the rookie if this is to work out for them. But a new face in the lineup makes no difference this time. It's the pistol round for FUT.
Yeah, it's the new rookie against what should be an age-old face in VCT, now sociable, starting to finish out his second year. And overall, right, it feels as if FUT haven't necessarily missed the beat in terms of the individuals showing up, especially sociable here, right? And you can see exactly what FUT want to do in terms of deathballing together.
Let's go.
Sticking to those win conditions, solid retake, and making the most of the numbers. Of course, we've got to be thinking of FUT now having completely different expectations to what they did coming out of kickoff, of course, with how they placed at the top of the championship point race now. Joint leaders with Vitality on 10. A win today would take them clear, of course, and Crostali has already gotten to work on this anti-eco, Yetiji as well. Standard procedure for them right now.
It should be. That's exactly what we're expecting. Exit so far has actually warmed up pretty nicely. A couple of kills here and there. We'll need to keep an eye on him in the future rounds.
Look, no stranger to Berlin, right? And I think that helps. He was here with Twisted Minds in Ascension last year. That's where we draw the comparison with Sop and his time on Ulf, of course. And that's the thing, he's been part of that setup for a while now, working away in the background with NAVI to hopefully bring improvements to the table. But in terms of keeping on course, FUT picking up that second round, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly the case. We now ask the question of NAVI, what are they going to show us? And I think as well, we speak a lot of Exit. I think another person who we're also going to be highlighting when we get the chance to is Sivov, a player who, in years gone by, has always had a great debut.
Yeah, and I'm glad you picked that up. No stranger to putting up big numbers in his first appearance. 177 average damage across his last 2. But a little quiet for now. Into the gun round, everything can change. FUT here, just watching over mid. It's through Sop. Initially, you thought the kill was coming. No, Crostali instead with a spam through smoke. 4 players on the defender's side here, ready to re-engage.
Yeah, Exit just diving in all alone, but I mean, no follow-up, no trade, and now you can see FUT exactly wanting to re-clear, and the spam looking not too bad.
Yeah, decent damage from the Guardian. 1 bullet left in the chamber, and now FUT thinking about a dispersal. You can see
lovely.
This mid-rounding through Crostali, the dog clearing out most of A. In the meantime, Hero finds an impactful kill on the B site.
Does take a lot of damage. Imagine Sivov, his role is to heal up the lone lurker. Same time though, FUT are now starting to scratch their heads as to where this hit is really coming through.
Just gauging that aggression, and yeah, shoulder spot from Yetiji, a face check goes unpunished. 3 players spotted in middle. And with the flash from Crostali, again, ever active in this round, clearing out Garage, FUT should have an idea of this being an A hit.
Well, it's Sop to receive any push. Left. And he does have a Guardian in his hand.
Yeah, they're still hesitant about this right now. It's only when Crostali pops that second flash in mid that you see the rotation come over. Yetiji arriving, 20 seconds, and Sop still acting upon this Guardian. 2 players pushed out to try and support the site hold, but FUT not able to get it done. It's NAVI just about sneaking through here. Spike plant coming in and a wall up screens.
Yeah, I mean, Crostali's going to have to wait for Sociable now, but he's a long way away. Precious time starting to echo away.
From this point in, any extra damage from FUT would be devastating. But NAVI, comfortable as they are, get the next kill in the conversation. And that makes all of the difference. It's left Sociable in a 1 versus 3. 8 clutches picked up for him in London. Always such an elite closer, but with only a Bulldog and time ticking away, it's starting to feel a little too far-fetched, even for his kind of ballpark. Bit more damage done. It's the 1 kill he was looking for, but NAVI on the board.
I mean, damage in the end, but FUT mightily close to actually getting a 3rd round there. NAVI can count on their individuals when they need to, it seems.
I mean, even there, you're looking at the purchase they're going to get coming out of this round, NAVI. There will be missing pieces, as I highlighted. A chance for FUT to inflict further pain, but not one they take fully. Mid-rounding excellent from Crostali. Mini talking about the impact on the desk. You could feel that from the eye test in London. And
I feel as if he's just a second too early, you know.
Perhaps.
Eager as ever. Operator out for SOP though.
Looking to challenge Garage early. Blinded up, doesn't find the shot. Can't connect onto exit, so he stays alive in the opening exchange this time. NAVI in pursuit of this B hit, and Ruxic lighting up the way. 2 big kills out of the Phantom. Yetejay still hanging around, but plenty of work on his shoulders. Able to carry the burden of exit, at least to start. And that keeps the round in question for now.
Real issues in middle though, has a look at this reclear from Zeus.
Very soon, Crostali could be overloaded, and there you go. Flash in hand this time. He's caught off guard. And Yetejay should be forced to save with only 200 credits to his name. NAVI have done a fantastic job to battle back in these last 2 gun rounds.
I think that's the big thing with how Navi's composition works, right? You've got this wheelie that is so fast that can just burst into sight, supported by the sky. And then once they get into that post-plant position, you're looking, right, a Viper, a Sage. It's going to be so difficult, and to an extent, wheelie helps out there with the
Hinder.
slow. Yeah, the Hinder,
Right,
thank
yeah,
you very
that's
much.
the one.
But like, you get the idea that I'm going for. It can be very difficult to break down these Navi retakes, and when you're adding in extra layers, like players through mid, late, I think like this is going to be a difficult task for FUT.
It's certainly seen a rise in the amount of Sage being played, coming towards the back end of the Neon meta that we had earlier in the year. I think those slows just to control areas which Exit can then dive into as well. A valuable tool. But FUT put down onto an eco, and this is going to be the first chance that we get to see of them on lesser weaponry. Of course, Yetejay was able to keep the Phantom, but he is elsewhere on the map as this is looking like another A play from NAVI.
I mean, FUT not scared whatsoever. The step's been heard by SOP, so it's sociable now to start to receive anything. But I mean, as you say, Hazard, there should be little to no resistance here.
Yeah, first kill is binding, no trade at all. And Yetejay still floating around in mid with this Phantom. He could be on for a fast flank, and FUT have completely given up the B space.
Scout destroyed.
A little bit of info back.
Oh, nice shot from Zeus. Can't get anything further than that, and it's just stalling out. And NAVI are waiting for FUT to peek them, and that's exactly what they're getting.
Yeah, ooh, Yetejay does find one on the flank though. The ult gets cancelled.
No
They've not cleared
way.
Soft Cairo. No! Oh my god, he's gonna walk away with 2. Thief in the night. Phantom circles back into his hands, and all of a sudden, Ruxic's the one in the hot seat.
Yeah, but you can depend on him. You know exactly what he's capable of, and he still has a bit of time to work with.
First kill is clean. Ruxic has 2 TPs, but it's that perilous gap between him and the sight hold right now that's keeping him from getting interested. Finds the duel on SOP and knows exactly where Crostali lays his hat. Spots him on the first TP, uses the second to get back across. Phantom has been picked up now by Crostali, but this one's on a knife's edge, and Ruxic is running out of time. He has to play into the site, and it's the open arms of Crostali that gives them an Emoda Thrifty.
I mean, yeah. NAVI, man, you start the round off perfectly, slow rolling. Zeus gives an absolute blinding shot. And Cloric sees him on the edge of his screen. Not clearing properly. That's what's going to allow FUT to do stuff like this to you, especially on a thrifty round.
Just when the onus was put on them to convert that one there, NAVI give up the ghost, SOP with plenty of composure. And now back on an operator, the scoped weapons which he has preferred in the 1-2 punch between him and Zeus. FUT taking full control of Garage, while NAVI are given all the real estate in mid that they would like.
Yeah, so waiting for the cross. There is no more flashes on Chloric, which is worrying.
Oh, yeah, does get spotted, just fires a stray shot through the Seeker and left out hanging on the angle. Exit plucks him away. Zeus is slowed, so the showstopper given a little more time to get into action, and even when hit by the hinder, it's not a problem. Res comes through and it's on the lower ledge, so in fact, safety in the support that Exit receives.
But look at the flank once again from Sociable.
It's that second layer which FUT have to be so cognizant of. Slipped into the smoke here. Ruxix managed to bridge the gap towards screens. This could be huge later into the round. In fact, he's going to spring it early, and with that, a trade comes through. Positive, in fact, for FUT, but Exit is immediately there to restore order. Completing the wraparound is Hero, and with that, we're all even again.
That we are. Navi making no mistakes once they get into post. And FUT really need to be careful of how they're playing these weak sides, because Sot's been left alone. He's trying to take a fight, fair enough. He's on an operator, right? You want to be holding a line. But Exit being able to win that is criminal. And then the retake at a disadvantage. It's like toppling dominoes.
I think this was something which we saw quite a bit in London too from FUT, where sometimes the spacing can be a little off. Of course, the fundamentals so important to a team with this much firepower. Comes down to Sociable as well, and that's what you need to get right in these retakes, because as you say, NAVI, they're 3 from 3 in those situations. It was on the eco where they got stopped at the gates. Sopped at the gates.
Oh, come on. That's poor.
I told you I was in a silly mood today.
Yeah. Well, it could get very silly here because Sop is on the hunt and he's seen a target. Already a nice denial of that space, but Navi immediately spring and go straight towards that B side.
Yeah, but look at how quickly this roaming pack from FUT has got into position. There are 4 bodies ready to defend B. And in fact, Sociable has crept into backside. It's just a fake. Navi don't want anything to do with this.
At the same time, FUT immediately gamble towards the A side of the map.
Look how passive Hero's being in this position even right now. From Sewers, he'd given up a lot of the A space. They're going to double dip back in through middle.
Oh, it's a split on B. That wall's still up.
It's this hesitancy again from Navi mid-round that has you questioning everything.
But that was the biggest danger. He's gone, Sop's off the boards.
Couple Sheriff shots over the top from Zeus. Does get flashed out, Kara. There's still so many numbers here for FUT. 20 seconds.
It's only pistols. You're expecting the rifles to win out in the end, and Chloric gives you that end. 2 players gone, and well, trying to retake with just a classic and a Sheriff makes things even more difficult.
I like this from Navi. Decisive in the final moments, and that's what you want to see. There was definitely a lot of umming and ahhing in the mid-round, as we saw. I think that wall up coming out of B main definitely signaled intent to execute, but goes cancelled. And a player we have to talk about as an in-game leader that's now been given time with this project is Chloric, an import to the region, of course, but I've been very impressed with his contributions. Not just the fragging, not the clutches, but the calling as well has looked up to scratch.
I think like that's the question that I had coming into today, was more so, have FUT maybe been figured out a little bit? I mean, you saw Vitality continuously able to grab those wins, and then on top of that, right, when I think towards the coming into this stage, you would have had all those teams at home watching things. You think of like the likes of Angel. He knows, right? He's played at the highest level in champs, in towards the Masters, played against the original FUT who made it up towards
A again.
Yeah, but again, this weak side is only 1 player strong. And Crystalli playing so far up, he's going to have no ways of escape here.
Not going to have too much to try and antagonize this A progression from Na'Vi. The flash at the very least collects some early information. Viper's pick dropped into middle, expecting the rotation, but as you say, the cavalry can't arrive soon enough.
No, they cannot. So Crystalli has to hold things down and does so successfully. A wall to deny any CT help. Seabuff's gone flying by. Crystalli has an escape. In fact, goes for the next fight. 11 HP. He can't heal himself up, but he needs support. And Yetishi's given it. The dog's got the kill. What the hell is going on? 3 on 3 and an operator retake.
Finally snapped away. And as you say, there's been a TP in towards main. You've got to look at Rooksik playing in late.
Yeah, exactly. Sociable trying to play in through the smoke, but this is a shorty. This is exactly where you want this position.
Yetege knows all about this, seemingly.
Yeah, he's just marking him off the map, but as soon as Sociable goes into the smoke, he goes himself. Cloric once again trying to clutch up and defend Navi's post plan. It looks pretty decent, let's be honest. Classic cow, and Seaboff to send Navi to 5.
The Frenchman turns up when needed, and NAVI continue on a powerful path in this first half. I have to say, Cairo, again, it's one of those situations where it comes down to retake. Things look a little bit sloppy for FUT in terms of the spacing. Sociable sending it straight into a smoke. This never-ending perpetual elbow fight was certainly not for the faint of heart.
Nice! Clemmy! Yatasha! Yatasha!
But NAVI get their just deserves.
Yeah, I think the big key point here is since the pistol round, there have been pistol and anti-eco, 6 rounds, 5 of them going to Navi's side. Nobody's watching B main.
Yeah, it's this mid-focus from FUT, 4 players. Just thinking about something else, and when Zeus peeks with a nade in hand, that's only going to end one way. Yetege gets one back in the conversation, but like you say, I mean, there's not too much to get excited about in this round for FUT either. It's a pack of pistols. NAVI are in post-plant. This has been their win condition. The only concession you would make is Hero's position. He is a long way away from getting involved.
So as 4 versus 3 on site, should FUT get the opportunity to retake?
So you're telling me there's a chance?
There is a chance, Hazard.
Here's the utility. It's trying to set up SOP with this Sheriff at the very least. His legs have been spotted though, and Exit makes no mistake with that one. Crostali and Sociable combining, and as I say, Hero's taking his time, but he's taken his timing perfectly as well. NAVI continue on that hot streak.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, right, you're always banking on Hero. It just depended on FUT's pace getting into the site. And yeah, post plan once again, looking pretty decent. But I don't know, I'm starting to think, right, there's a high success rate, but are FUT really challenging these post plans? That's what I'm thinking right now.
I got you, baby.
Coming into round number 10, SOP brings the operator back up again, and you're just waiting for FUT to take some meaningful space on the map more than anything else. They feel very dispersed at this point in time. Exit set up for a kill. Flash just tells him exactly what he wants to know. Music to his ears. Sociable's dropped. There's going to be SOP. Another kill, this time in Vents, and Exit's already so far deep behind the backline.
I mean,
FUT are thinking about giving this one up.
Yeah, this feels like an Angel team of old. Very simple Valorant. Feels very easy breezy.
And with Hero finding that one on the extension of B as well, should be a done deal. Crostali wants to be a hero. Ill-advised.
Yeah, he's on the other side. And I think at this point, Yetege probably has to be thinking about saving his rifle. 7-3, a real possibility in the scoreline. That's a massive advantage.
Gotta say, with how the round was set up, Exit there flashed in by this Sky, which, you know, NAVI have been playing with on this map since Sociable was part of the roster. In fact, this is sort of a composition that they wanted to be using. It was the duelist of Filu that they were setting up, I think, in the off-season with this sort of initial lineup into now. Finally feels that with Exit in the team, they've got all of the pieces that they were looking for, at least from what I'm seeing right now, to enact what Angel's vision has been long-term. And that's not to get too far ahead of myself, because we've already said this is a very potential-heavy team.
Yeah, I mean, it is potential-heavy, but I feel as if this is the type of map where NAVI come out and we're like, yeah, look, NAVI's back, great. And then we go on to Ascent and then FUT run wild.
Exactly.
That's I'm holding my breath for a minute.
Exactly. But signs of life certainly required from them right now. As we know, this year, the schedule's been compact. Some of these teams have been playing almost non-stop. I think FUT were happy to see the break after that high-placing finish in London.
I think I remember Bambino said from trials to London, they hadn't had a break, and that's a pretty tough schedule.
Even just the roster reworked from kickoff, taking additional resources, but These are all excuses. It's put up or shut up.
Time to hunt.
And Zeus and Crostali on the A site this time. There is additional support. It only means there's an extra kill in the feed as it stands. Zeus will eventually get toppled by Hero. Na'Vi with the numbers and the spike soon to go down.
5 rounds in a row, could be 6. I mean, with pistols in play, you're expecting that to be the case. And this Viper's Pit, we know how good Ruxic is within it, and we know how good Hero can be as well.
You know how good Ruxic is out of it. He's up in heaven right now.
Well, that's true.
Getting ready to interrupt this timing. So thinking about it, does check it, finds the kill. Paranoia to try and instigate a little more violence here on the FUT side. Be the catalyst for something. Exit does land the convergent paths perfectly though. 2 targets taken in it. Only 1 felled eventually. Misplaced TP from Sociable. Now Yetajay left in a 1 versus 2. Winnable in some scenarios, not this one.
Yeah, lovely stuff to get things kicked off. NAVI 8-3. Look at that, 6 rounds in a row. And if my memory serves me right, Hazza, I think that's 6 post plants in a row as well.
Yeah, I mean, it should be. All the rounds won on elimination. FUT just not showing up to this first map just yet off the new stage. And the vibes sky high on the Na'Vi side. One more opportunity to make it a 9-3. This would be a pretty significant statement on their own map pay.
I mean, players are just disrespecting mollies. They do not care, Na'Vi. And I mean, you can see that within the kill feed. Yetajay, okay, a chance. Viper's Pit throwing in. But again, Na'Vi disrespect it.
And it's actually allowed Sivov to get this res online, so Ruxic back in, 4-on-4.
There's also going to be the Seekers to identify player positions as they try to flood back in. Only 1 Seeker gets through, but you can see Silp patrolling on Heaven. Ooh. Nice wall to actually get the plant in. This is nice from Na'Vi, but Crostali's spam is also nice. He's also been able to deny and continuing to. Na'Vi maybe just a little bit too much disrespect. We've just got Hero on and up.
Plenty of work for Hero to do. Might just be cut out for him at this stage. And while many would have maybe expected a nervy Na'Vi into this first map of the stage, first series with the full 5, left. It is FUT who are on the back foot right now. Hero's going to spot at least the first, but immediate play thereafter. And with that, they get a bare minimum on their defender's side.
Yeah, that they do, Hazza. It's taken 7 rounds for FUT to get back into the round count. But with that being said, let's have a listen on what Exit had to say ahead of this match.
Exit has finally...
The aggression is measured from Na'Vi. It's all about site hits, getting the post plant. But as you said, on the defense, you can't get a post plant. We'll need to see exactly how retakes and denials of entries is, especially when you have the players like FUT do.
Instant slow orb in the mouth of A main from Sivov to just try and slow this one down. The ramp take expected by FUT, and they get what they were looking for here. Bit of space already, and Yetajay picking up a kill in mid. That's where the spike is now starting to head towards B, as Na'Vi have made a full rotation.
I like this from Sociable. Step forward, trying to take a fight.
Oh, and he wants to throw a Paranoia on top as well. Why not? 2 blinded players. Sivov is one of them, the other Hero, and Yetajay there to trade. Much better from FUT in this pistol round. Starting off the half, as they did in our opener. Chloric 1v4, low health bars, but plenty of targets to find.
Yeah, low himself now. You can see how FUT are playing. All 3 players disconnected though.
Yeah, but he's got to clear them all out.
Yeah, that's true. Crostali's just sitting there like, the guarantee, the ace up the sleeve.
Like, guys, please just don't make me have to do this. And yeah. Zeus is gonna give him the common courtesy. It is a 5th round for FUT, double pistol on split. Yeah. Any other day, you'd say that's the map wrapped up. That's not what the case has been.
No, it's not. Especially when Na'Vi got the when FUT got the first half, started off with a pistol round and anti-eco. We were pretty much feeling that this was going to be business as usual. But Na'Vi showed up in the rifle rounds.
That's been the natural order of things. I think talking a little bit more about NAVI, of course, this is a legacy organization. They carry that expectation with them, but it's interesting to note, third youngest roster in the league by average age. That includes the play-ins teams as well.
Well, I mean, if you're performing poorly, you should be invested in the youth of what's coming,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's what NAVI did when they picked up the likes of Exit, Hero, Rooksik as well. I mean, Chloric, to an extent, from Tier 2 and NA. I think overall that this is a pretty decent roster. If they came in with this at the start of the year, I'd be really, really excited. But we're in Stage 2 and there's no chances, no real runway to get things started.
Already in a B post plant here for FUT against the full save on the Na'Vi side. Interesting Viper wall on site, which FUT have chosen to play in front of, anticipating a retake behind it. But speaking of retakes from behind, it's 5 players in Garage, and the first kill goes Na'Vi's way.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a bit worried here. Time is getting low. At the very least, NAVI can make FUT pay.
Already the Bulldog has been retrieved, but then comes the battering ram on the FUT side. 4 kills with no answer back. And that's exactly what you expect from this type of round. To sort of finish that conversation, yeah, this has always been an organization which has invested in youth. Think of the Na'Vi junior roster that's had success in challenges as well. I think you're just wondering how much time are they going to get to develop. We've got a play-in stage potentially as well. That's the question that we place on them in this new era post-FPX core.
Yeah, no, I agree that's right. I think it's all about how much time and how they hit the ground running. So far it's looked good in the first half, but as we get to the second, that's where the questions start. Remember, NAVI, they won the 3rd rifle round, and from then on, we're pretty much home and dry. Within 2 rounds are FUT, so this is a very important round.
Yeah, you can already see in that A fight, Sop taken down. It's not been the best reprisal for him in Berlin so far. And looking at the round here, very slow pace from FUT. Still plenty of firepower in this bonus. A few rifles to play around with. But you can see on the opposite extremity, Hero was getting a little bit experimental, I guess, testing the limits on the periphery, finds nothing.
And FUT, for the most part, just want to go for this B split.
Stack up of 4 players on B. Zeus does find the initial kill. Chloric playing inside the smoke, hoping that a FUT player invited into it would arrive at his crosshair, but no. Sociable left behind with no information there, and actually, Na'Vi a little blindsided by this push, yet still, Exit gets the first pick.
So aware, so good, but Na'Vi looked to begin to recede in position.
Yeah, Sivov there does catch a little bit of info though. Perfectly timed hinder by Exit, setting up this site defense, and Na'Vi running away with it now. Zeus, the last one standing, everyone else healthy, with a yellow and black jersey on their chest. Puffing it out a little bit with some swagger as they shut it down entirely. FUT not allowed to get the bonus.
Well, FUT realistically lose map control as soon as they lose A main. There's maybe a question mark towards the vent space, but Hero's sitting in main with nobody contacting, hearing nothing and saying, guys, just stay B. That jump spot from Sivov saves Navi's rotations. And yeah, from then on in, it's pretty much as easy as that. Just hit the heads.
Crucial round and a critical juncture in this game for FUT. Looking at it, full purchase for them. And Na'Vi heavier on their A control this time. Wall will have been heard and relayed back by Yetajay. His own toxic screen up, just having a little look. But Sivov not giving anything away.
Scout destroyed. Here.
FUT just worried about that mid trap, if there was going to be one. You can see them just plying away. But for the most part, Na'Vi haven't necessarily interacted with mid much. You can see them beginning to clear out the extremity on B. So always looking to have at least some map space as a defense.
Yeah, and in terms of the sole player detached, it's still Yetege in A main, behind the prying eyes of Sivov, who's dropped all the way deep into A site, but rotation called on the Na'Vi side. They should be ready to receive this push when it comes in. 40 seconds on the clock, and FUT start to make their move.
Yeah, plenty of time to scrap for FUT when they go for this execute hazard. There's one player on site that they do have to
in
clear.
behind.
Yeah, he's going for it. Taking his time, and the wall will drop at the perfect time, and he's going to get two. The rest of the players trying to get out of main, but look at the bodies here for NAVI. They're ready for it, and they're going to collapse upon FUT. Double digits for the defense, and Hazard, this defense is looking second to none.
Yeah, masterclass in the mid-round from Na'Vi, scouting out all of the correct information. You saw the Sky utility there, the dog from Chloric, the captain calling them forwards. We have had a change to the initiator cooldowns into patch 13.0. That extra 10 seconds can make all the difference with the flashes, and just seeing it here.
Hero!
So prepared, and if not for Heroes 2K, then maybe the round looks a little different.
Yeah. But if buts and maybes are not going to win your rounds.
And it all comes back to the info game, as I was saying.
The information economy is being dominated by NAVI.
Gonna fall back here.
Even a flash to put Exit back on the line, and you know he's just going to keep on repealing as much FUT control as he can. With this Outlaw, Sociable good for the one, but again, there's just no follow-up in sight. Exit still on the prowl, and
Scout
Zeus
destroyed.
moments away from walking into his scope. You can just sense it. Oh, missed shots, however. Big kill from Zeus. Showstopper online. Little choppy on the way through, but FUT have sight control.
Yeah, but for how much longer? Because that showstopper's gone, and now the floodgates can open for NAVI.
There's a res here for Sivov, but again, in tower, not an easy one to try and pick up. Couple rifles filtered back through into the FUT hands.
Yeah, but they're giving things up. Oh, I thought they were going to main. No, they're joining up with the player in hell.
Yeah, they want to retake this tower space so they can get an extra player back up on their feet. It is going to be Ruxic brought back to life. That second lease now given. And the player you've got to be worried about really is Yetege, playing from hell.
So low, though.
And 3 targets left to find. First kill has to be clean, but the information already tossed over. Perfect paranoia. And Na'Vi up to 11 already. They may have been struggling at the start of both halves, but it's in the middle where I've been so impressed.
I mean, that's your meats and potatoes, right? Realistically, as these rifle rounds. And FUT, when normally that would be when they impressed so much, have just not shown us what we expect of them. These death balls that just overwhelm you, the pace that is electric. It really has been like a damp towel.
Yeah. And I mean, look, perfect start in the veto. Again, we come back to this conversation from earlier. You're then heading into Ascent, prime FUT territory, and ulti of this map so far. 18 played, of course. I guess 14 played if you take away the non-rifle rounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Love a bit of maths, mate.
You're good at it, mate. And FUT, good at picking up the pace, and they've done that. Look at Sivov on the B site. There is little to no corner which he will be safe. And seems to find one here, a smoke to at least mark his space, and he's got support and exit and able to hold things down. Even going to go one further. NAVI keep the advantage. The spike being down is an issue, especially with Sentinels there to defend it. And as he tries to escape, Hero, oh, it just misses out.
Already knows where Yetege is off to, though, from bottom mid. The footsteps heard through the wall, and actually Hero's just going to match him for pace. Let him know where he is.
Oh, he's missed his molly.
Battle of the mollies.
I mean, we're expecting this to go Hero's way, right?
Yeah, you'd think so. Hero actually with a bit of a jump strafe there in the end on the Phantom to win it. The biggest miracle of that round is that Sivov was still breathing at the end of it. Fantastic comms on the Na'Vi side, though. He's given a smoke to play from in sight. Just Reclear comes through in heaven.
Yeah.
He follows that up with another kill here. You'll see it in a second. And it's just fantastic trading. Great fundamentals.
Yeah.
All the things we expect from FUT.
Yeah, exactly. It really is just great team play. Great protocols, Sivov getting that smoke, that support when he needs it.
Toxins going up.
Especially when FUT up the pace, when they do what they're known for.
And again, to just flip it back to the other side, how many times were FUT with, you know, one player on an extremity, on a site hold?
Yeah, they've done it again. They've taken B main and they're just going to rotate all the way through, or at least be in mid for a quick rotate.
Just the level of support that these NAVI players are getting is ridiculous. Intertwined at the hip,
Oh
but one
my
by
God.
one, they just fall to the slaughter. Hero with 3, and it's Ruxic to wrap it up. That dynamic duo backed up with an in-zone flawless to finish it. NAVI starting off the stage in perfect form.
That's
I think
so poor.
One thing I do really want to focus on here, though, is the sociable Phoenix. I think that is a little bit more to me of a drastic change. Yes, we know he was a duelist player from his time in Challengers, as he was only previously in IGL in Challengers. But we'll just have to find out how good that's going to look at a Tier 1 level. A lot of what he does is leading the team in, creating the space, having people trade off him, which I feel like we just didn't see as much of on Split. But starting out on the attack side, of course. And after being stalled out initially by Hero's Thorns, they are going to get site control and a post plant.
Yeah, 5 alive on either side, and for the most part, NAVI haven't really needed to expend their utility.
Full retake from NAVI, coming in B main. In the meantime, FUT trying to force the issue CT.
Yeah, trying to take that extra space that they will need. Hero the one to stop them doing so, as he's identified and ran down. Oh no! He's been knifed! Of all the times! We've seen a dog kill, we've seen a knife kill. What else will we see? Will we maybe see a FUT post plant?
Oh yeah, they're going to win the round with a post plant. It's another pistol. That shouldn't be a shock to anybody. 3 from 3 in the series. I will hold back from making any further statements about how I feel about them on this map for now, though.
Oh my God.
Yeah, here we go. Have it.
Let's go!
Well,
Speak about vibes. Those are the vibes that we want to see.
yeah, I guess, but at the same time, this is the 3rd pistol round out of 3 that we've seen from FUT. So there's no surprises here.
I say vibes. Do you feel like for his teammates it's just white noise at this point when you have to chase screams like that?
Maybe.
Do you reckon he does it in pracs as well? Just get them used to it?
Could you imagine being in the same, like, you know what I mean, like boxed room, and you just hear them
you
scream.
know, like the little esports attic that these orgs have.
Oh no!
Mate, the heat wave as well.
Oh, man.
I would be hallucinating, I think. But here we
Hallucinating?
go. Yeah, tripping balls, man. Heat stroke. Heat stroke.
Yeah, I think you've had too much heat at this point.
Is a 2 versus 2, by the way. While we're waxing lyrical about Yetajay shouting his head off, I don't know how it's got to this point, but Na'Vi on almost a full save, stack up A main.
Oh, right click here.
Sivov has got to try and stall it as much as he can, and the wall's done a brilliant job despite them clearing his position. Heroes arrived.
Yeah, a crossfire, which is going to be hard to dismantle. Both players are on classics, and they're the ones that take the fight. You're hoping that FUT swing out, and a right click is going to be the doom of someone, but in the end, 2 rifles through to the next, and an anti-eco one.
An imperative anti-eco. Let's just go back and see how this one happens. Zeus gets a couple kills, and by this point you're thinking they're home and dry, but Sivov picks another up. But FUT get through, and that's all that really matters right now. Op coming out for the first time. It's on the defender's side in the hands of Exit. An extra 5 seconds on the TP takes it to 20 in total. The gate crash ready for an A play. Gonna need to take it soon because Sivov's the one under the microscope.
And he seems to have passed the test with little to no pressure.
Here's Exit.
Post wall.
And that's just the strength of composition. FUT have to know they can't go for these quick pops a lot of the time because of the rotation speed.
Yeah, but
and again, just the tools that Na'Vi have to slow the pace of the game down.
I mean, SOP, no dash. That's going to be an issue. You can already see the Sage on the line of Sivov, supported by Ruxic in the timing. Very unfortunate. Ruxic still has 2 TPs, and at the same time, NAVI have just answered straight back, still keeping one player in front, but the escape for Sivov is not as safe as he thought.
In his own words, he is an aggressive player. It's something Exit was talking about, but on the Na'Vi socials, that's how he described himself. That's a bit of a silly one to give away, but Exit still holding things down on this A site.
Yeah, but Yetich's gone one step further, and Hero forced onto site. They don't know what's going on in heaven, but as they peek in, the operator gets killed. So it's Hero at the back of site. You know he's a good anchor. Can he do it once again? It's a one-on-one, and he's hoping Chloric gets here soon and doesn't even need to. Oh, okay, maybe he does. 30 HP on Crystalli. With 15 seconds left, he needs to get that spike down. A tap, hoping to bait out a peek. It does, but it also baits out his own doom. Navi answers straight back.
Yeah, it's a fight that he can't win. And another gun round for Navi. Who's counting at this point? But as I was saying, maybe a slight lack of discipline in the mid-round. Young team, aggressive team. These are the sorts of things that you expect to happen. Especially as the roster is just starting out. Really, this is their honeymoon period. But I was impressed with the way that things were handled on the whole, Cairo. And what FUT need to be doing, essentially, is just baiting out that util, looking for those fights in isolation. They've got Sop with a dash to do it. They've got Zeus and his TP. And Sociable is starting to rack up some of these ult orbs.
Yeah, that he is. But at the same time, right, you've got to pick your poison. Do you want to execute into the Vise, or do you want to execute into the Sage?
I think the most interesting detail that I'm seeing from this round so far from FUT is that Zeus is actually the one on the Outlaw. Usually it was Sop using the scoped weapons. He's rifle in hand, part of this pack of players that is slowly pushing towards the A site. But not merged with the spike just yet. It's both of the duelists heading into the open arms of Roxic with the judge. He doesn't bite. He doesn't give away his position.
And he doesn't give away the gun, most importantly.
They also rotate off the back of it. I mean, Exit now backfilling market. You've got two players holding on B main. Na'Vi are in a decent position to defend this B site.
Yeah, defend mid, most importantly, as that is the main arm of the push. But nobody's going to bite. So it's Chloric on the old spot. Oh, but he's just been easily cleared by it in the end. FUT just straight out onto site.
Oh, Vice Wall actually allows the flood to come through. Hero quick double, and with the Steel Guardian online, it's everything Na'Vi could have hoped for and more. That's until FUT snatch it right back from them. Rez online brings it to a 3-on-2. Man advantage Na'Vi as the spike is looking to go in. There's only 10 seconds to do it, and Sivov is the savior. On another debut, he dominates.
I mean, Haza, it's as simple as that. It just comes through the setup that Navi have. Hero's Wall allows that flood, and it really becomes a trap. Sprung so easily, it becomes a little bit worrying when the wall goes down. So well played by Navi.
I mean, how often do you see teams flood out of CT into stairs? Hero's Wall enabling that, gets the ult off before he passes. And Na'Vi go 2 from 2. FUT reduced to pistols. Yes, Sociable has the run it back, but the ult that you really want is Zeus's. He's hoping to get a hold of this A-orb, and as Na'Vi pull back on this initial aggression, he should be able to take it.
Navi giving absolutely nothing away. Zeus will get the tour de force. But you're hoping that people peek into you, and I don't think Navi's going to do that. They're playing around their setups.
That's the FUT game plan as well, and Na'Vi just haven't offered an inch. Here's Exit, and
there is your exit.
Yeah, Zeus shown the door. Oh, he wants a little more, and actually it's a tag onto Sociable through Sabrosa, down to 34. And your win conditions in this round, if your FUT, have already evaporated. So it's at this stage in the game, Cairo, where my concerns, posture towards FUT and that of the desk, discussed in detail, only continue to ramp up.
More delay, more issues for FUT. Has a pistol round, pistols trying to execute into this position. You can't help but feel this is another rifle round that's going to go Navi's way.
Certainly feels like it. Hero,
that's lovely.
On the list again, present on the B site, in zone flawless for him to check off. Na'Vi taking an early lead here after losing the pistol yet again. FUT sent back to the drawing board in what will be another full buy, but it gets to a point where if they're not able to find this one, then you start to look towards the coaching staff for answers yet again.
Yeah.
They've been great for adaptations in the past, but it feels like right now the team is static.
I think that's a compliment realistically for FUT in terms of that. Hazard, they're just not shooting back. When have you seen a FUT team since this roster's inception at the start split one? Where is Ruxic off to? He's like a clay pigeon, just being shot down. Seavoff wants to fight here as well, but Sop's going to answer that immediately. So 2 players to the good, and NAVI, they have to try and hold on to this A site.
Yeah, wild set piece to start, but it has rocked them back. Ops in the feed now. Exit getting the better of Sop. And he's actually dived into the site here with the shorty. Gonna put the mask back on eventually and try and play Hero back in.
And hell, there's the next one, but the trade is good. So it's a 2v1 for Exit to clutch up. Still does have his one flash and his decoy to try and play around. Is those steps real? It seems as if the players on FUT won't bite, and we go all even.
Yeah, I mean, great punishment from FUT of that initial mid play. It was a wall up on the Radionite box in short, I think, which Ruxic TP'd on top of. Yeah, you see it there. Not sure what type of an angle he was looking for, maybe just something to catch FUT off guard, but you can kind of see the confidence in the play. NAVI going for this sort of stuff. FUT a lot more direct after those opening kills though, and just it's those openings which they haven't had up until this point.
Of course, it felt like the straw that broke the camel's back for NAVI. They just used the momentum to really roll their way in towards A. But it's a similar scoreline to what happened on Split. Sociable has managed to find Seavoff, but I was going to say FUT found the 5th round, and then NAVI got the rest.
Sure. I think that this is the thing. FUT have had a couple of times now, this round and the previous, where they are getting the opening kill. So it's what they do with this that I'm now waiting to see. Over rotation towards A from NAVI. This is really nicely called.
Yeah.
Exit will be arriving. Hero through short. It's Ruxic tucked away in wine that has to go big.
Sop still has his dash, his movement abilities. It's a good molly. And Ruxic does try to TP out. Exit's missed. And the trade not there. FUT have the A site should they want it, and they certainly do, especially with Sop's blades. Denial of any guns. Still, you have to be scared of that duelist.
And now into the retake. Chlorix still has the dart up. Hero a flash. Spam plays him in, but nothing to go for.
I mean, that spam was decent there. Doesn't quite finish out, and now he's trying to run to the hills, but the hills have come to him. And now has a 1-round advantage for FUT.
Yeah, FUT retaking the lead for themselves, and I gotta say, I'm impressed with the patience, especially on the coach side. We were saying maybe we were starting to arrive in timeout territory, but they've held their nerve, clearly thinking that the plan was good enough. And it's just playing a slower game, waiting for the kills to come to them. NAVI showing a bit of overconfidence now, perhaps, in some of the duels that they're taking. You see the punishment come through.
Trap destroyed.
Oh, they are 8 strong to... Well, 8 strong? I was going to say they are...
strong.
Oh my god, man. They are 6 strong towards that side in terms of player numbers from either side. And Hero's been put it down to 5. Going to put it down to 4. Oh, he's just so
down
good!
To 3!
Lovely stuff! I mean, Yetege is going to be able to steal the spike away. And Zeus, deep through mid, goes elsewhere, but into the arms of Exit, who's just on a classic.
Where's Chloric off to? Off to the shops.
Certainly trying to get out of harm's way.
Yeah, no, Ruxic as well. All right, that's another. There are a couple of pistols in here. This would be a 1 versus 5, though. Yetege gets another. 1 versus 3 as he's now 2 kills deep, but all the remaining players on the NAVI side are here on A.
Yeah, and when they do peek out, it will be an Omoda Thrifty for NAVI. All even once again. As I said, after all Hazard, we're expecting even halves.
Yeah, that is true. Slight lean towards the defender side, though, and I think you have to consider that with NAVI's composition, too. They've got a lot of ways, as I said, to make this difficult for FUT to get what they're looking for. And then I think, you flip it over to the defenders' side. Definitely concerns about how they'll be able to deal with the chamber, the jet, once they get up and running with snipers. Looking at it here, FUT wanting to go for another direct play. It's straight into the double sentinel on B, however.
Yeah, nicely set up. Good dart. SOP can't capitalise.
He's on the wall.
An exit, as well as found Crystalli. I mean, denied any entry. FUT just picking the wrong sites.
Yeah.
But it's this inability to press stop.
Just a blind commitment, and it could not have been worse, really. Worse conditions for them to assail. No one can follow up that initial dash from SOP. That is the reason why they lose the round. At least in its current state. A 5th queued up for NAVI, as the rest of FUT are still just biding their time in B main. An additional orb for Sociable brings him one away from another run it back. Would be the difference maker in this position.
And once again, that utility still there for the Sentinels, but so is the ability to shoot for FUT. Still only one player to the good on NAVI, so should there be any solo peaks like Hero right now, FUT could find themselves at an even spot.
It's just a random spam. It's brought the ult online. Sociable can close the distance on the site and fight Boathouse. NAVI need to duel back, and they are.
Yeah, Ruxic at the back of site needs to be careful, denies the run it back, and Exit gets the kill. Now, I was going to say, Sociable has to re-entry the site and won't be given the opportunity. Exit's up once again.
Talk about discipline. Perfectly approached in the closing stages there by NAVI, not to get ahead of themselves. Exit has the perfect op line to stop the cross from stairs. This replay is exactly what I'm talking about. SOP is the only player who can get into the site there.
Sorry, this was...
Everyone else from NAVI part of this blockade. And on the whole, the macro's been pretty damn good from them on defense so far. It's just in these micro details where FUT have the edge as you expect them to.
I wonder though, I mean, maybe we can come back to this conversation. The rounds at hand, there's 3 in the mixer for FUT in terms of rifles, and they're trying to make their way down mid.
Yeah, Exit was initially there with the operator, but gives it up after the reveal.
And no matter where FUT want to go, there is a NAVI player waiting to deny.
Yeah. Chloric with an Odin in short. Exit playing from hell. He's already spammed out Zeus before he rounds the corner. Criminal from that position, and he'll continue to do so through the button. Door goes up behind it. Spike caught in transition, and Hero on another signature flank. They'll fall into his lap as he finds another 2. And Yetajay has so much at hand if he is to task past these final remaining 4 players on the NAVI side. They can extend their advantage for the first time in what has been a real pendulum swing of rounds.
It's not the gun you want either if you're yet to shoot.
Yeah.
It's not even getting the spam through, unfortunately.
There's another wall there. Now, Exit is just lofted up in heaven. He's not quite caught wind of Yetajay. Yetajay's going to let him know, though. It's a noisy, noisy boy with that Odin. And Exit wraps it up in the end. 6-4, 2-round cushion. You're smiling. What's so funny? Noisy boy?
No, it's fair enough.
You're childish, mate.
Listen. Anyway, moving on. We're back to rifle versus rifle. Yetajay's the real difference maker so far from FUT. He's 11-7, 4 in front of anybody close to him.
What's gonna Angel do? Come stage? He can.
Complementary to this attack side, like you said, especially considering what they're playing into at this stage in the game. I have to see how they do when the roles reverse, but with the timeout now behind us, let's see if that's offered them any clarity. It's this Op-Odin combination again with a mid-focus from NAVI. Plenty of players interested as FUT are looking to split the A site, but it's into the Sentinels again.
Yeah, I mean, so far NAVI's setups have been so spot on every single time. It feels like they've got plans on plans. And Hero, this time, very rarely do we see him miss out. A Hunter's Fury to get that shot space. There is a denial through the wall, so still stalled out our FUT.
Yeah, but I think FUT can re-engage here with some comfortability. Ruxic playing from heaven. There's no one from NAVI here with feet on site to actually hold down this space and anchor it.
Yeah, this is a big 1 versus 1. And X is going to win out. Well, advantage towards NAVI. And a retake with a dimensional drift. All the information is going to be there. NAVI have pushed all the chips to the middle of the field. And at the end, it feels like NAVI are the ones who are going to come out on top. Sociable trying to make it work with just the classic. But NAVI fling everything at him. Crystalli, yeah, he's able to get one. But it's a drop in an ocean of NAVI kills. 7-4 is the scoreline.
Yeah, it's a fantastic round from NAVI. Again, just knowing when it is they need to take fights, when to drop back. Hero gets caught at the first instance, but from that point onwards, it's near spotless. Brilliant retake here. Great use of that Euro ult as well. Exit showing quite the proficiency on this agent when, as we say, it only makes up 5% of his entire agent pool.
I swear to God, I think I'm the best Euro player. I did something insane.
Forget best player in the world, best Euro player for now seems to be good enough.
I mean,
As it's sending NAVI towards a series win in their opening game. 1 round left to play in this half. They're heading into the Vice again.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like they can't escape. Sop, though, has not missed when it comes to entry kills, let's be honest, doing his fair share. But so have NAVI when it comes to flooding. And you look at that backside B, it's going to be a real issue.
Wall off from Sivov as well. He can join in the fight here from site 2 if he likes.
That's if he's going to get the chance. If FUT even want to keep going on B, it seems to be the case. As they start to fight on, and Hero identified in the middle of sight. So it's Clorix Odin. Can he hold Mouse 1 long enough? No, he can't. We're going to get the tour de force in. 4v2 post.
Spike planted.
Should be a certainty now for FUT.
Should be.
Here.
Nice movement, Ruxic. Gets over the top of the wall, in fact. It's going to be retaking from Speedway. But Sivov nowhere near the rest this time. Nothing to skew the odds. FUT with a 5th round, I think, would be absolutely huge for their efforts here.
But if NAVI can deny the players getting out at the very least, you're looking at all 4 players not really got a repurchase for the next
Well, yeah,
round.
they don't need a repurchase, Cairo, because the half's going to end after this
Oh my
one,
God.
mate. Lock in! That's FUT. Lock in their 5th round here.
Oh dear, Hazza. I mean, it's a nice recovery from FUT, let's be honest. But with that being said, let's have a listen on what Coach Vlad had to say ahead of the match.
Coach Vlad, you just told me the guys from FUT are feeling a bit...
All eyes for me on Exit to see what he can keep doing with this Yoru.
FUT have set up with players ready to take fights on the extremities. The only issue that I would have with that is that NAVI are ready to overwhelm B.
Yeah, I mean, wherever NAVI go, they're going to have numbers. Sivov, priority on the Sage res early here in terms of ults. So again, a slower style expected from them here. As those players start to emerge through Link, Sop catches vision, but can't deal any damage. Sociable filling in under the arch. NAVI actually going to play straight into his hands. A flash through the smoke from Exit, cancelled, no! Goes through dry, but still finds one on the way.
Yeah, it's an even trade overall. Duelist for Duelist, Flasher for Flash, but the players trying to overwhelm Crystalli now, through in towards Market, and FUT collapse on it, through mid as well.
They've not missed a beat on these pistols so far, Cairo. And it is a 3 versus 2 in their favor as things stand, but Hero has the information on Crostali. Cornered as he is, does claim the kill. Spike's still here, held at an impasse, arm's length right now as there's no vision to plant this.
Oh.
Both of them just give away the
30
space.
seconds left.
Yeah, but they'll think this is B. I thought for a minute Ruxic would have gone A. Instead, no. It will be where we thought it was. 20 seconds remaining. Soon to be 45 in terms of post-plant. But Hero early on the Sheriff.
Finds one, and it's actually his own flash which stops him from taking that second duel. Damage from Zeus, but Ruxic still dominating his own smoke here in stairs. He's the healthy one of the two, and overstep is unwise in this position.
No, as both players jump out together and Zeus does not convert. FUT's 4th pistol. It will be Navi to find their first. And could that be the killing blow in this second half?
Certainly feels like it's shaping up that way. Really well-read 2 versus 2 from what you would now consider the old guard, the stars of this Navi team that have kept their place. Hero, a huge transfer talked about from the 2024 off-season, and Ruxic equally so.
But it's also the new boy on the block who is showing up the most. 15 kills to his name. Hero obviously 17.
The one which Navi waited to have in the lineup, now showing the impact. Sivov can be counted there as well. Everyone on the Navi side brawling through B. It's another one of these wacky second rounds where Krostali's found a couple for his troubles. Navi still firmly have their sights set on this B take, and with Yetajay now the rear guard wrapping back around towards the switch, there isn't a way back in.
Last player standing.
Yeah, the 3 rifles sitting ready on Navi's side. Zeus's headhunter can't hunt a lot. So Navi are 1 away from double digits.
And they have done so right out of the other side of the opening 12, Cairo. The timeline and the trends continue to favor them, as you can see. FUT have really struggled to turn up to this game, and whether that's the wake-up call they need or not, I'm not too sure. We'll have to see how things transpire, as this one's not done yet. It is a first full buy for the Turkish #1 seed.
But it also feels like a full buy for Navi with the rifles and the shields that they've got in play.
Zeus and Sop under the arch, looking to combine and create something for them here, as Sivov already has the res online into this bonus. Information circling back now to the defenders as Navi have emerged from B main. They're trying to get out onto the site, but Sop finding one blind through the smoke with Spam. Clawing back up on his feet, and the follow-up isn't there.
Yeah, still not able. It's Exit to fill the kill feed next, and FUT helping each other out, playing as a team. And now it's all just Zeus left alone.
Spike carrier's already made it to site. Ruxic only needs to delay from main.
Yeah, a 2 versus 1. One that Ruxic, you can see, wants to take that fight. Cloric at the back of Boathouse, nearly gets caught out. Ruxic swings round and gives Navi double digits. Hazza, they are on the cusp of something special.
Yeah, the bonus round in the bag for Navi, and as Mini was hypothesizing in the build-up to this one, sometimes when FUT lose, they lose heavy, they lose hard, and they are on the receiving end of a blowout right now. You can see the frustration on Bambino. Much more stoic expression from Vlad, as they've got to keep it together here. 5-round lead. Sop's Marshall just absolutely ripped to shreds. He's had no luck today, none at all.
It feels like dogs just attacking scraps. Navi, every single one of them hungry. And I mean, no wonder with the performances that they've had this year.
Looking on the FUT side too, the Sop perspective, as I said, he has just not had a chance to contribute so far. Or at least those presented have all gone astray. Zeus the next to step up to the plate. It is a similar conclusion. Exit is on fire right now. And Navi on the charge, just 2 rounds away as it stands. Looking to wrap up this series with a clean sheet. Sociable has recovered a rifle, but that's about all. It's looking like a done deal in my eyes, Cairo.
Yeah, it feels like it. Sociable's given it his best bets, and to be honest, nice ultimate orb collection for the next round, but it feels like small like conditions in this map. Navi know exactly what they need to do to win this out.
FUT moving the needle in increments. Navi, the ones with their foot on the gas pedal.
It is done.
Second timeout used, and still Navi not having to press the panic button. It's the last time Na'Vi went to champs.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
I'm telling you there's a chance. I won't fence it on that.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll see if that is the case. They need to get by FUT first. And this next round could all but confirm at least overtime in this. So we're going to see a very early Phoenix ultimate. The run it back used to clear B main. And at the same time, Navi react. They're going to take A with a nice entry kill. SOP not cleared though, and that's an issue.
Yeah, tucked away in heaven, but how much can he find from this position?
How much of a chance is he going to get?
Spike
Waiting for an
planted.
extension, maybe more than anything else.
Yeah, well, with the spike, and he's going to take that fight. Players have seen him, and unfortunately, he's not hit the mark. When have we ever seen that? SOP at least gets one, C-Bob, but on top of the wall goes here once again, and SOP looking to be the man to try and dismantle this post plan. Exit within hell, looking to be the nightmare that FUT Rue. Oh, he's just in the middle of the site. Where's he going? Rooksik and Chloric from main.
Not ready yet.
2v2, but players on spike. Chloric trying to play in front of his dart. It's up to Rooksik now, and we know how good he can be with a rifle. Hasn't seen SOP, gets him. Oh, and the spam!
He didn't get it!
Oh, mate!
Full stick! And so Crystali has tossed a lifeline for FUT, not to mention SOP. 3 kills picked up by the young gun. Still in his rookie year, of course, but we've seen how he burst onto the scene and a return to form, a much-needed one for their hopes in this map and series.
Player standing.
He really does feel...
wow.
He really does feel like that mercurial talent, right?
Sounds like someone stepped on a cat's tail. Awful.
Well, the players cleared out of A main, so a question mark that FUT aren't necessarily willing to answer immediately. Crystali looking to hold down B himself. This just looks like a cut and dry B exit.
I mean, this is the thing. FUT don't have a surplus of utility either to defend these site hits with, like Na'Vi. So everybody utility has to hit, and SOP with the blades already has done so. Free space in Boathouse for Exit to try and drift into. Flash to tee himself up, but Crystali cuts out the issue. And again, it's this duo of SOP and Crystali that are making the difference. But FUT are not safe just yet. The round yet to conclude as Na'Vi bounce back with 2 kills.
Yeah, only one in front, and you can see Yetaji's nowhere to be seen. There's a chance now. Onto the B site they go, and Yetaji has so long to rotate in.
Looks like Rooksik's actually just going to step over the mark here. Full disrespect onto Zeus. Knows that he can win that fight with his chest. So Yetaji, the late flank coming in. Hero's utility down in the position now very much expected. Slips into Speedway. Chloric's gun barrel not yet spotted from the boathouse, but it's only a matter of time. Yetaji smoke down onto the spike. He can try and play for half here at the very least. Chloric only has 1 shot, so someone has to fight through this in the end. It's Chloric to stick the muzzle there, pull the trigger and finish it off. 12 rounds on the board. Na'Vi just 1 away.
I mean, after the performances in London, FUT now in stage 2 leave a lot to be desired and put a lot of blood into the water, let's be honest, within their group.
Got to be thinking about team vitality at the top of the points race as well. FUT giving them a chance to take that advantage themselves outright as we look towards champs. But as you say, this has not been the FUT that we remember so far. SOP to make the difference, and he does at the start of this critical round.
Take flight.
He needs to be the difference maker. He needs to be what FUT need. Ultimate's in, Navi are ready.
Yetaji, that first line of defense, no follow-up. You can see Sociable trying to play in behind, but SOP's already gone down.
What?
The captain sinking with his ship. Everything that FUT built over these last couple of months slipping through their fingertips as Na'Vi are here to take their first series win of the stage. It's got to be Hero now, though. Zeus has done brilliantly, and Crystali is there to save them at the death again. Play will be extended.
Yeah, for 1 round more at least. Navi maybe seeing the lights shining a little bit too bright there and getting distracted, trying to force the issue. Yeah, I mean, nice utility overall. It's just this backside clear.
It's stuff like the protocols too that maybe FUT aren't scrubbed up on with this composition on the map, having made the change sociable on the Phoenix. See it there, in no way to help his team. Heavy mid-fight. This is a ridiculous sword to die on, but FUT are making it work. They found the kills, man advantage. Do they want more? Of course they do. And Zeus gets it. Yetajay as well. Brilliant reveal. Yet another round in the bag for FUT. And a very different look.
Feels like the sleeper agent has finally been activated. FUT are actually starting to hit and remember exactly who they are, rolling up the sleeves. If they have to fight, they will. They'll brawl with you. Fisticuffs in mid is what ends up winning out. More of that, please, if you're a FUT fan.
Yeah, but you don't expect them to double down and go for the same play. It's still showing that they have full faith in their grand design. As again, we're seeing these pair of players work the periphery as it is Zeus in the middle of the map, TP available. And NAVI pushed onto a mixed buy here. This is not the round you expect them to win this series.
Oh, Yetajay already denying exit any opportunity, so this feels like a round that's already over and done with.
Yeah, you can see that there's been some thought put into how they want to play the Phoenix as well. Molly lineup, straight out of the Andrew TikTok onto the ult orb there. Flash to force the players into his sight.
Teleport's ready.
While there is a Vandal on Ruxic, he would have to put up an abnormal play here for something to happen.
He is an abnormal player. And unfortunately, that is all she wrote for the round. Within 3 are FUT.
Yeah. And at what point, Cairo, I flip the question now to you, is the honeymoon back on? I'm just kidding. At what point?
Why did you say it like that?
At what point do we start to believe again, should I say?
I think when we get to overtime. At this point in time, NAVI have 2 timeouts to use in the next 3 rounds. So
A bit of a switch up on the Vision Strikers of old.
yeah,
NAVI are right where they would want them.
an exit from top mid is probably the scariest prospect if you're a FUT fan.
Over! You're dead!
And unfortunately, that's a nice blaze ball. This is a nice iteration of the Vision Strikers, but unfortunately, there is absolutely 0 targets to hit. And, well, Seabov is just... Oh, Ruxic just came out of nowhere and from CT using his own ultimate.
Yeah, from the shadows. It leaves Sop behind in an awkward spot. He kills Chloric mid-drone. In the meantime, Ruxic has shut down Yetajay. And Exit finds his man. Sop cut out of the corner. Navi on the warpath.
They're on the final stretch as it. The last 100 meters. Spike can go down, and it's just Zeus in a 1 versus 4.
Spike planted.
Navi, how many times has this potential team not lived up to that mantle? How many times has that roster rebuild not made the difference? It looks like they're in peak form right now, when it matters at the business end of the year. What a statement to send by taking one of the top 2 teams from EMEA in London in straight sets in your opening series. Zeus, the last man standing. He drops into the site and lets them know where he is. Navi closing in. They know exactly what this means. 13-9 on Ascent in the end. And this new Navi is one to be feared.
It feels